First and foremost, man, I just want to give thanks to the Creator for life and giving us the chance. Hi, baby. Want to say good morning? Okay, we got Miss Amy Lee in the building. The beautiful Miss Amy Lee. Say hi, baby. So how y'all doing? Yeah, her and her brother been a little under the weather lately, so uh, yeah, me and mom been be doctors at home and been having to get this mucus and all this weird energy outside of our kids. So, uh, yeah, man, uh, big shout out to all the mothers and the fathers out here across the world, man. Uh, we're approaching a new season, a new year. We got to do everything we can do as parents to keep our kids healthy and safe and sound as much as possible because it's a lot of funky, dirty energy out here in the world, and it don't care who it attacks. It's getting at kids, it's getting at the old folks, it's getting at the middle-aged people. So my advice, man, to all the fathers, to all the brothers out here across the world, man, uh, let's keep pouring love and as much affection into these kids as much as we can because um, these viruses, these flus, and all these diseases and these germs. Uh, yeah, man, they can attack these kids' immune systems and do some damage. And I hate to see babies sick, man. I swear. But big shout out to all the fathers, all the mothers out there across the world, man. You guys rock. You guys are amazing. Hip hop. I want to give a special shout out, man, to Uncle Snoop, Uncle E40, Master P, man. Uh, thank you guys for trailblazing. Thank you guys for uh, giving out so much free game because 2023 is going to be a very big year for all of us. Uh, I hope and pray that a lot of us are taking the proper steps and strides that we need to take when we talking ownership, when we talking staying business savvy, and I just want to give a special shout out to those three, man, because it's not just about the musical content with those guys. You know, they have showed us all over the years that you got to get some product, you got to push it to the limit, you got to believe in your product, and, uh, and put your money into things that that you feel will be lucrative for the long haul. So big shout out to Uncle Snoop, E40, Master P, man, for being trailblazers to the culture. We need more of you guys because I must admit, you guys have been preaching ownership and just having things for years. So it ain't just started with you guys. I want to give another special shout out to teens. Uh, I totally agree with Fat Joe, who was trending in the media earlier this week, saying that Free Mind was the song of the year. I totally agree. Every time I turn on Free Mind, by the way, is one of my daughter's favorite songs. I'm talking about probably like one of the first songs she was just able to just catch a vibe to. Every time you played it in the car, she was in love with the song, all the harmony and harmonizing, and that's the one thing about music that I've learned uh, to be aware of. It's like when you got kids, I'm talking about babies under the ages of 2 and 3, when they can bob their heads and want to sing and dive deep into uh, some of these melodies and things that you playing and hearing on the radio around your kids, like that's when you know uh, things are a hit. That's when you know it's a hit and it's something special when you got babies that are being attached to these songs. So I totally agree with Fat Joe. Uh, in regards to teams having the song of the year. Every time that song played, it represented so many things when you talk about high vibrations and just uh, having a free mind and a free spirit and just when you was in a needed, state of relaxation, that was one of the go-to songs, man. I totally agree with Fat Joe that that was the song of the year. Big shout out, man, to Hit Boy and Metro Boomin. Metro more here at the latter stage of the year, but man, nobody dominated hip hop from a producing standpoint like Hit Boy. Uh, Dude is a genius. Dude is a hip hop head. He's a true ambassador of the culture. He represents everything that the culture should be displaying right now. So nothing but love for Hit Boy, man. Wish him, his kids, his family, nothing but uh, more success, more freedom down the road. Because to sit here and try to sit here and not sprinkle his program with nothing but love, it would be ignorance. To not even acknowledge him, to not even give him the kudos and the props and the respect that he deserved, because he dominated rap this past year. He's been dominating rap quietly for like the last 5 to 10 years, but it seems as if the collaborations with Nas forced everyone to really pay attention to his greatness and the things that he had been doing, in the culture for years. But he was quietly humble giant doing the things that he was doing. So big shout out to Hit Boy, man, and for being probably one of the coldest producers, rappers that the culture has seen in a very, very long time. So much props and so much respect and so much credit than what you guys are giving, because without a dope DJ, a party, a function, any type of gathering, it has no significance if the DJ ain't groovy, if the DJ ain't lit. So big shout out to all the DJs out here across the world, man. Thank you guys for what you do. Thank you guys for the countless and endless hours that you guys have put into your craft and put into these playlists, and just trying to find the right songs to mesh together that you feel are appropriate for whatever the kind of gathering you might be DJing for. So I'm very thankful, man, for where we're all headed here to 2023 as a whole, as a nation. Uh, I'm very thankful that the Most High has put us all in a position to where we've reached the end of the road here when we talking of 2022. This chapter is about to be done, and it's time to move on and start some new chapters, and take on some new challenges. And I think the most important part, more water. I think the most important thing that we all have to focus on here moving forward is we have to stay prayed up, and we have to keep our energy levels at a high level, because it's a lot of people out here that's not fans and of what you got going on. They're not gonna push you to your highest peak, because everybody got their own lives and own things going on. So it's kind of like uh, people won't see what you see when you put in the work and doing the things that you're doing, because everybody got their own lives. But then again, there will come a time, I feel as if, when we're putting out great content, we're doing dope things, and we staying pure and passionate about things, eventually the work will speak for itself. So my advice to all the creators, all the entertainers, all the just artistic people in general, period. Because when I think about hip hop, I don't think more about the music. I think more about the art, the content, the substance that the creators are out here putting out here into the atmosphere. That's the one thing that comes to mind when I think of hip hop and art itself, man. The Us as creators, it's our job to give the atmosphere what it needs and what it deserves. So I highly recommend that all the creators uh, stay sipping on you some hustle juice, and Keep God first in everything you're doing. Sports. My heart goes out, man, to the family of Pelly Pell, man. The Brazilian soccer star, man, lost his life at the age of 72. Um, don't have a lot of just thorough homework on Pelly Pell and soccer and what he did for, Brazil as a country, as an athlete. But I do know, and excuse me, he was 82 years of age. Uh, but I do know he was a global force. He was an icon. He was loved by many. And anytime you lose an athlete of that magnitude, no matter the genre, no matter what sport it is, uh, he evidently was a global landmark because it's trending all over the news. And why not, touch bases on it here on my small little podcast and what little stuff I got going on, because that's what we're doing over here. We're talking about newsworthy stuff, things that should be shouted out, things that need to be mentioned, and my heart goes out to the entire country of Brazil. Shout out to the Washington Huskies. That was a great win last night in the Alamo Bowl game against the Texas Longhorns. Looking at the spreads, looking at all the analytics before that game, I knew Vegas was not going to give you Texas playing in Texas at a -3. Wasn't going to happen. I knew that Pac-12 team that was coming, that was going to down there to Texas, it was strictly business with them. And they dominated the football game from all 4 quarters, all 3 phases. They got a very great talent in Penix at the QB position, lefty, southpaw. Very electrifying guy. I think he should be on a lot of people's radar next season when we're talking elite quarterbacks in college football come next year. I think he just put a lot of people on notice. I watched him a little bit this year. I was very impressed with how quick he got the ball out of his hand, a few games that I saw him play. And yeah, they was just as more talented than Utah and USC this past year. So big shout out to the Washington Huskies, man. Also, big shout out to the Florida State Seminoles. That was a very big win last night. You guys was able to get against the Oklahoma Sooners. I clearly remember about 20-something years ago, man, you guys blessed Oklahoma. Bob Stoops and that whole regime and, coaching staff. I feel like Bobby Bowden and them gave you guys that national championship because we played down to their level so much. And I know it was 20 years removed from that bowl game. The game played yesterday had no magnitude than the game that took place between you two schools 21 years ago, because that was for the marbles 21 years ago. Yesterday, it was about pride and respect with Florida State because I know the coaching staff, I know the media, I know everybody had been, speaking on the Sooners like, hey, from a psychological standpoint, you guys are already defeated before the game is even played because you guys know what happened the last time you guys as schools played each other in a bowl game. They took something from you guys that the world didn't see coming. So that was a very big win for Florida State. Coach Mike Norvell, Jordan Travis as their leader this past year, man, they showed a lot of grind and a lot of gut. And to win 10 games as a major football program in the country, that's a very impressive feat and thing to do. So big shout out to the Florida State Seminoles, man. And tomorrow, man, also starts pretty much all the elite bowl games. And what better way to start our Saturday morning with Alabama playing K-State in the Cotton Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to be a good football game. A lot of NFL talent on the field. They got Bama favored by a touchdown. I truly believe Bryce Young is going to shred that up. K-State going to make some plays. They're going to be in the game. The over should be the play. It's going to be a lot of talent on the field from an offensive standpoint. The over should be the play in that football game. I got Bama putting up at least 40. And K-State might put up about 21, 24, something in that ball field. But yeah, they start off at 9 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time. So that's how our bowl season starts tomorrow. And if you want to see some good defense, some weird energy in a football game, watch Iowa and Kentucky. They got the game very low when we talking total wise, because I just don't understand how you got two Division I schools playing in a bowl game, and you're gonna tell me the whole total is 30 points for the whole entire game. So that's basically saying 5 scores. So yeah, Vegas saying these two teams won't even score 5 times tomorrow, and that's saying 4 touchdowns and 1 field goal for an entire 40 minutes of football. No, 60 minutes of football. I just don't understand how, that's gonna be a thing. But hey, that's where the lines are at. So I think if you want to see some good defense tomorrow, tune in to that Iowa Kentucky game. It should be a slugfest. TCU Michigan. TCU getting 8 over under 59. I think that's another over game. A lot of talent, a lot of speed will be displayed in this game. I got Michigan winning in a close game. TCU should cover the spread. Should be like a field goal game. I don't know if it's going to be OT or whatnot the case, but should be a field goal game. Michigan favored. Now, the game that's going to have everybody and their mama tuned in will be Ohio State, Georgia. That's gonna be a damn football game. Good football game. I mean, that's gonna be an electrifying football game to watch tomorrow because you're gonna have a lot of NFL talent on the field. You're gonna have a lot of just pro scouts, pro teams that will be in the building watching these two teams compete because there will be a lot of franchise changing players playing in that game tomorrow. So I think everybody should have your popcorn and your beer good and cold because when Ohio State and Georgia come on, man, the only time you get up and leave the TV really should be at halftime. And that's going to probably be something you don't want to just miss, the halftime show in that game. So very excited about what's on slate for us tomorrow as sports lovers, sports fanatics. I feel like that will be a football game of the ages, a football game we don't want to miss. NFL, some pretty not too much meaningful games coming on this weekend, but what I will say is Pittsburgh at Baltimore. It's going to be a very interesting game. I got a very close friend of mine, man, that needs one more win from Pittsburgh as a prop bet to pick up a real good bag. I'm talking about a real good bag. Very smart, intelligent, sharp individual I'm talking about here that's been rooting Pitt on all year long just to win 8 games. He don't care about going to playoffs, none of that. He just had a feeling that Kenny Pickett, Mike Tomlin, and that committee could win 8 games at least this year. I don't know what the odds were of that, but I know they was pretty good because I know this guy. I know how he place wagers, and he's fearless. He's aggressive, and he's highly connected and highly respected because he's one of the dudes that I know that he make these kind of plays, and he'll sit back all year long and wait on $30,000, $40,000. You know what I mean? Back end, you know what I mean, pick up all because, you know, he was up at a certain time and he was able to put 5, 10 grand on this because he knew the return in the back on the back end would be so sweet if, you know, things turned out the way that they could. And big shout out to Pittsburgh, man. My dog is one game away from securing that. I truly feel they will get the job done here in Baltimore. They've already clinched. No Lamar. Pittsburgh playing with a lot of pride, a lot of respect right now in the end this year. A lot of things can fall in their favor as far as, hey, they might can make the playoffs. If some things fall crazy with the Chargers these next few weeks, Miami and New England, which is another marquee matchup, must-win game for both of those teams because they both are still in the fight. Division game. So that's a must-see game this weekend. Miami at New England and Carolina at Tampa. I think that's one of the 3 marquee games that I had on my radar this week that I feel as if must-watch TV. Tom got spanked by the Panthers the last time he played them. Pretty embarrassing loss, and I'm looking for Tampa to go into Carolina. I'm looking for Tampa to just put hands on Carolina. So I think they finna go down there and get what they asked for. But the cold part about that, Carolina's right there in the mix. You know, they can win their last few games and win the division. You know, see, you know, it's just like football is always, you got to play it out. You got to play things out to the end. And then now since they've added this 17th game, it's kind of like the playing field is so it's wide open for everybody. So big shout out to the NFL, to to the commissioner, to the NFL PA. I think you guys did great adding a game, taking a game from the preseason, and then add more teams to the playoffs. It makes it more fun, makes it more interesting. So big shout out to NFL and the whole committee for putting that all together. Basketball, man, basketball. We're gonna start off with a little college basketball right now. Top 10 college basketball. You got some of the same teams still in the mix of things that were there when we touched bases on them a few weeks back. We got Purdue at 1, UConn at 2, Houston at 3, Kansas jumped up from like 8 to 4. Arizona jumped up from like 9 to 5, and then Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, and Gonzaga rounds out your 6 through 10 as far as top 10 teams in the country. And like I said a couple episodes back, man, your top 10 college basketball this year, pretty much you're going to see some of the same names throughout the course of the season. But what's ironic about that, it's a couple teams that you don't even see in the top 10 right now. I promise you they'll be there come February, March. They'll be there. And we talking about your Carolinas, your Kentuckys, my sleeper team, San Diego State. Yeah, it's gonna be some teams that ain't even in the top 10 conversation right now, in the top 25 conversation. But on Fatherhood, Hip Hop, and Sports, man, we're really just we're talking game changing news around here. We're talking over the head science news around here. So I truly believe that that top 10 list won't change as much this next year. So this season with the college basketball. So those top 10 teams that I mentioned, they're playing a lot of great basketball. They're great programs. They're all headed in the right directions. And big kudos to those programs and to those coaching staffs and all they got going on. NBA, man, I want to send a big shout out to Dame Lillard, man. He here the past few days became Portland Trail Blazers all-time leading scorer, franchise history. Big shout out to Dame Dollar, man. Uh, I feel good about what you and Chauncey got going on as star point guard, former star point guard, now coach duo, player coach, relationship, man. I feel very excited about what you guys got going on, man, and I'm very excited that you have reached this feat that you just reached here recently, man. It feels good to know that all the money, all the big shots, all the punchlines, all the dope bars and music you've given us as an athlete. I feel like it's only right to see, it's only right to be a part of this journey with you because you have clearly been their best player in franchise history ever since they drafted you. So, very excited about how you guys as a team going to end the season. And much love and respect to you, man. Big shout out, man, to Luka, man. Luka. I was just telling somebody this the other day, man. Luka Doncic is he's a mind freak. Luka Doncic is every time I watch that guy play ball, man, the one thing that I see in his eyes is he trying to kill you. He trying to burn your ass every play. He trying to embarrass you. He trying to put it on your ass every play. Every time he got the rock. He is Mr. Dallas right now. I think he's probably like the most beloved athlete in all of Texas right now. And Texas love their sports, whether we're talking football, basketball, baseball. Luka Doncic right now is a very loved athlete in the state of Texas. That motherfucker can quit basketball right now, and I promise you, he could probably be a senator tomorrow. You know what I mean? That's how much they love him in Texas right now. The dude, he got game, man. He got game. You can't knock it. What he does night in and night out. He got like an old man game to me. Like young guy, young kid, big, strong, 6'7", but he played the game at his pace. Like it's like everything Luka got going on to me as a former point guard. Like, no, I'm not 6'7", but I feel like the way Luka played the game is the same way I played the game, except I passed a little more. But I feel like, I was a killer, just like Luka. Luka's a killer, man. Luka, he will pull up on you from anywhere. He gonna body you up. There's no shot he don't feel like he can't make. His floor vision is very untalked about, but Luka see things that average ball players at the age of 25, 26, they don't see it until they like 30. So, and he's been doing this ever since he came into the league. So, but the only thing that sucks about this with Luka, man, he's playing against a lot of superb, more athletic point guards / small forwards / two guards. I don't know if all I'm gonna say is this: he better not play no Clippers again in no first round because they won't fold like they did a couple years ago. Nah. He gonna need Hardaway Jr. He gonna need Kimba. He gonna need all the help he can get if he fade the Clippers again in the first round. Anybody else, I see them having success against. But if they fuck around and play land in that 4-5 slot where the 4 gotta play the 5, he going home this time. He ain't finna beat no Kawhi and PG in no first round this time by like the way he did that couple years back. Like, I don't see that happening. But big shout out to Luka, man. 60 points, 20 rebounds, all that you did the other night. Triple double at that. It was unreal. And I'm just thankful for what you bring to the game and to the floor every night, man. Big shout out to the New Orleans Pelicans for being patient with Zion Williamson. Zion is he's a unicorn. He's a game changer. He's a different specimen that we haven't seen in basketball since Mr. LeBron James came into the league almost 20 years ago in 2003 of October. So what Zion is doing now, 20 years here later, been in the league 3-4 years, but every year, his first few years, they just kept shutting him down, not playing him for a whole season. Now here it is. You're finally seeing, all the hard work and all the money spent that you invested into something. You finally starting to see the fruits of your labor. And I'm just happy for them as an organization because they playing great basketball. They playing some great basketball. And the cold part about that, they top 3 in the West. They can easily be the number 1 seed in the West this year. If they turn it on, when Brandon Ingram get healthy and come back in that lineup, I can see the Pelicans going off and winning like 10, 15 straight games on top of what they already doing. And put some real pressure on Memphis. Because Memphis right now seems like the only team in the West that's they're not going to turn around. They're not going to look back from where they already at. So they will finish a top 3 seed in the West again this year. Last year, they went from bottom of the barrel to number 2. This year, I can see them doing about the same, if not 1. Because right now, they're currently at 1, but it's been going back and forth here the last few weeks with where you got Memphis, New Orleans, and Denver clogging up that 3-way spot for first place. But when everything unfolds, I think it comes down to those 3 teams that will take the top seed in the West this year, which will be Denver, Memphis, or New Orleans. And big shout out to the Pelicans, man, for being patient, trusting the process with Zion. I also want to give a big shout out to Philadelphia Sixers, man. I didn't touch bases on it too much the last episode, but I got to speak on it today. James Harden, man, you back in your bag, I see, dog. You back in your bag. You and Embiid, y'all clicking. Y'all looking good. Doc got y'all playing some defense. Philly gonna be scary. I think that's probably like Boston got a couple kryptonites this year, which will be Milwaukee and Philly. I feel like just looking at things and how things are unfolding right now, those are your clear 3 top teams in the East. Boston, Philly, and Milwaukee. Those are your top 3 teams, arguably, in the East. Nobody's playing complete basketball like those 3 clubs. So when we break all of this down, it's kind of like, dang, you got 6 teams in the entire league that are really playing basketball the right way. But then you got your hybrids like the Clippers. You got teams like Portland. Then in the East, you got other teams like Miami, Pacers making noise. Bulls a little bit behind the 8 ball right now, but they coming. Pretty exciting to see how they're going to close out the year. I don't know when Lonzo Ball is supposed to be coming back, but the way things are looking with that is might just be best to just use him as a trade bait because he ain't been healthy in months. I mean, dude ain't played basketball in a whole year. So ain't no telling what he got going on outside of basketball. But all I can say is big shout out to the Ball family, to the Ball brand. Uh, wish Lonzo nothing but success and health moving forward. And just hope and pray he can get back out there and do what he loved to do. Um, Also, a little bit on the NFL, I forgot to touch bases on, man. Big shout out to Devontae Adams, man, for stepping up for your teammate. A lot of drama, a lot of politics going on in Oakland right now. Things that I had already kind of projected to happen because that's why Josh was bought there. That's why McDaniels was hired. McDaniels was hired to bring a winning mentality around because this whole Jared Stedman thing, I think it was a good move from a longevity standpoint. You want to see what Stedman can do at this point because for one, Oakland, y'all not going to the playoffs. This is a great time to evaluate your talent, what you got going on moving forward next year. So benching Carr, I'm in favor of that, low key, because it's kind of like y'all ain't playing for nothing else, bro. Y'all fought hard all year long, but it's impossible for a team that's already 9 losses in. You're not getting in. Everybody at the bottom of the barrel already been clinched. So it's only like one more spot that's left, and y'all already got too many more losses than you can get wins. So McDaniels, Davis, that front office, I'm in favor of benching him and seeing what Stedman is gonna bring to the table because 9 years in, Derek Carr, man, you gotta understand, man. All good things come to an end, and they went out and got you a talent like that with Devontae in hopes of they could see really an all-pro season from you this year, but they didn't see it. Now it's a lot of decisions to make. Because there will be some signal callers on the market that it's gonna be a lot of talented arms out there on the market, man. And why not go play in Las Vegas? I mean, $1 billion facility, state-of-the-art facility. You're in the sports mecca of the entire world. They hosting the Super Bowl next year. So, man, Derek Carr, man, got a lot of stuff that's going to be on your plate and on your mind here the next few weeks to the months, man. But all I can say, I wish you well and whatever's set to come. Speaking of arms, we're going to touch a little bit on baseball. The New York baseball market, man, it's a trip because what I've seen these guys do here this past off season here with the baseball thing and all these teams, man, it's kind of like, man, baseball is one of those sports where it's like, dang, man, these owners and these teams, they don't run out of money. They bag is so longer than these owners that's owning NBA teams and NFL teams, man. These baseball owners, oh man, they bag, oh man, they got a crazy bag because it's kind of like every player they ain't gotta be superstar players, bro. Major League Baseball, they take care of their people, man. And I just wanted to give a special shout out, man, to the Yankees and to the Mets. Man, y'all don't mind spending that money, man. And that just lets me know that something's brewing in New York. One of them, between those two ownerships and families, I think it's something going on between y'all, man, because y'all spending a lot of money here to compete for a championship. Some stuff going on in Philadelphia too. They spending they spend a shitload of money, man, to be able to be in the conversation, to be competing for championships. But speaking of arms, man, I was so excited to see the success Justin Verlander had this year. I remember when I first covered baseball back on like episode 4 or 5, might have been 3 or 4. In that segment, he was like the first player that I spoke on in regards to baseball in general, because I knew something was very special in play with Justin Verlander. Now I'm finna give y'all another name that I'm gonna throw out there, and say you heard it here first when I tell you the pitcher that's finna have a Justin Verlander type of year when he comes back this year. Walker Buehler from the Los Angeles Dodgers. He gonna be lights out this year. Walker Buehler. Whenever he get in the rotation and get back out there for his team, he gonna be lights out this year. Is he gonna have a Verlander type of year? Because you gotta think, Walker is only still 25, 26. Verlander did this shit at 39. But I'm just saying, style. The way Verlander did it, it made it look so effortlessly and easy. I can see Buehler coming back doing the same thing for the Dodgers. I feel like every time he get on the mound, he gonna win. I don't see him losing too many games, because if you break down his mechanics and his style of throw and just his energy and his vibrations, he's a Verlander 2.0. Everything about the guy. Never met him a day of my life, but I'm willing to bet any kind of money that if you have a one-on-one sit down with him, I'm about 80% sure, and I can guarantee that Justin Verlander had to be his childhood role model when we talk about pitching, because it's kind of like we saw Jordan, and then we saw how Kobe came in the game and just did everything that, like Jordan said, Kobe stole all his moves. I feel like here, when Verlander finally walks away from the game, whether he does it off a championship, whether he does it for more years in New York, I feel like when they have that big time conversation, sit down with Justin Verlander, and don't let him win another chip. Because I feel like if the Mets go and win it next year, let's just say they end up winning it next year, he retires. I don't see him pitching X amount of more years after that. If he comes out and have anywhat near of a year he had this past year and they win it, I can see him and Scherzer just retiring probably. They might come back for more because the money gonna be there. The money wise, it's gonna be there. Now, if they want to just keep securing the bag and they feel like they can do it, then yeah, keep going. But from a legacy standpoint, man, I wouldn't keep going. If he can fuck around and put 2 back-to-back Cy Young type of seasons and win the World Series, it's like, why keep going? You know, because I feel like it's going to be a lot of other generation of talents out here that we should be shifting to. And if it's one pitcher that I feel like got the opportunity to be just as good as Justin Verlander here in the next 10 seasons, it would have to be Walker Buehler. The dude got great stuff. His arm is so live. He's young. And he's a competitor. He's a competitor, dude. So very excited to see what's gonna take place here with baseball here this up and coming season, man. Padres, they top off that top five list of spenders here this off season, which is surprising that uh 5 years ago they was at the bottom of the payroll system as far as Major League Baseball. And then you fast forward to tape five years here down the road, and they went from the bottom of the barrel of spending to now they right there in the pack of the best as far as spending. And bringing some generational talent, to their respectful franchises. So big shout out to the Padres, man, and what y'all got going on. I hope and pray y'all handle everything with Tatis Jr. to the T, because you can't afford to lose a generation of talent like that. From what I've been hearing, man, it's a lot of drama going on in the Anaheim Angels system, which it should be, because they got two generational talents that they deserve so much more, man. It's like what they given this franchise here the last 5 years, especially Trout. But what Ohtani has done in his few years in the league as a dual threat, damn, they're a 5'2" player. We talking international guy, 6'5". Probably can't speak better English than a fucking first grader, but the skill level that he brings, to such a loved American sport, he's a force. He deserves all the money that's coming his way, but he also deserves to be in a winning environment. And I don't know who's to blame in Anaheim, because it seems like they won that World Series 20 years ago and it's just been stinky ever since. They ain't been able to figure things out. Big spenders. They in probably the biggest market in the country when we talking sports. They've been able to obtain generational talent. But damn, y'all ain't been in the postseason but one time. In what, 5 years, 10 years? That's not okay. That's not okay. Hope you guys can turn it around, because if not, you guys are finna lose those generational talents. And there are plenty spenders out there that will be willing to take on those contracts, I feel. So what you guys are going to recoup on the back end, that's where the Confucius kicks in at. And, those are conversations that will be interesting here in the near future. But anyway, guys, that's been episode 27. As we get ready to approach a new chapter here in life of 2023, the Michael Jordan year. The Emmitt Smith year was good. It was bad. It was ugly at times. But the most important part is if you're able to sit here and look at me, tap in, tap out, come back, double back later, that means we both did something right to still be in the number one more time. That means God shed his light and his grace on us and gave us the opportunity to still be in the number one more time. And that outweighs any value of courtesy. That outweighs any amount of jewelry or diamonds or gold. That outweighs any materialistic attachment when we got life. Because having life, having the opportunity to perform, to practice, to have freedom of speech, to have the opportunity just to get online, and do things that you love to do, that's a blessing. that's a blessing that I wouldn't want to trade for nothing in the world. And I'm just so thankful that uh, I'm just in the number one more time, man. I'm able to just do the things that I love to do and be passionate about these things because it's a lot of people that didn't make it and they ain't here with us no more. And all I can say is we got to stay prayed up. Got to keep God first in everything we doing. Unfortunately, uh, we gonna lose some along the way. People gonna take from us along the way. Uh, People gonna feel as if we're not good enough along the way. We're gonna pour love and energy into things that in the beginning we knew that same love they're not gonna give it to me, or they're not gonna be compassionate or feel the way about me that the way I feel about them. And that's okay, because that's why we got to just love more, and we got to keep going, and we got to keep fighting, and we got to keep searching, and we got to stay prayed up as much as possible. But it's been a blessing, guys. uh Episode 28. I'm gonna do a special edition. So I got a couple episodes that are gonna come back and forth. So we're really scheduled to be back on Monday morning, but just because we going into another chapter, episode 28, we're gonna just come on. We're not gonna touch bases too much on fatherhood, hip hop, and sports on episode 28, but we're just gonna talk about life. We're gonna pray on episode 28. It probably won't run a whole hour on episode 28, but we will be praying, and we will be sending special shout outs to just all the people that have played a part of my life along the journey. Because fatherhood, hip hop, and sports, having this voice, having this little platform, none of this stuff would be possible without all the people uh, that played a role, in the journey, and poured life and love into me. And I understand that some of those people are not big fans and supporters the way they used to be, but that's why we gonna dedicate episode 28 to some of those people, just so they know. Uh, if it's any type of sway in your heart and your emotions and your feelings about pro-life, about Sydney, uh, that's gonna be the episode where, hey, I'm apologizing and I'm letting everybody know that I ever crossed path with, man. I'm just trying to go into my Jordan year on some Jordan shit. I'm not trying to keep looking back in the past over things that could have been, even though a lot of atrocities took place in some of our passes that uh, we still living with it today. And I think episode 28 uh, will give all the subscribers, all the people that have been attached to me over the years, they will kind of give them some kind of insight on where my heart is at, where my mind is at, and what we're really trying to do moving forward. And that's just win. Point blank simple. Just try to win. Keep winning, man, and just keep staying prayed up and keeping our faith big. But it's been a blessing. Thank you guys so much. Episode 28, we will be tapping in Sunday morning. So I know New Year's Eve is tomorrow. We're gonna just sit back and relax and dissect, watch some things tomorrow. But we will be going live Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern time, just to pray, just to send some good vibrations out here to the atmosphere. Because 2023, I hope and pray, is the greatest year for all of us, not just me, but for all of us. It's been a pleasure. It's been a blessing. Stay blessed. And remember, stay prayed up, man. Keep God first in everything you're doing. Episode 27. We out of here.